Good morning, Dome Life family. We're tired. We're really tired.
We've had high winds all night and we just couldn't sleep. We probably finally went to sleep about 4, and then we were up at I was up at 7:30. So yeah, and today it's supposed to get even worse. I think 27 mile per hour wind gusts. Yeah.
She's real tired.
So tired.
She's very tired. So am I. But we think that this tent can handle up to about 60 mile per hour winds, and it's only supposed to be 20 today. We're just going to see what she can do. The old tent. Now we will take down the canopy. We don't really trust the quality of the canopy stakes and this to be able to handle 20 mile per hour gust. What kept us up wasn't the wind hitting all the tent. It was when this thing here would start making this sound here. I can't even reenact it. After a while it starts sounding like a J brake on a truck. I mean, inside she holds up real nice. Things get shooken around a little bit, but it's not bad. Well, it is kind of bad. The wind is. And we also feel very positive about the batwing awning. We think that this thing with the cordage it has, and then also having each foot staked down, I think she'll hold up pretty nicely.
We'll see, but it's not necessarily that we're afraid of the wind, like Cody was saying. It's all the flip flappy of the fabric. It's just oh, so loud. So yeah.
So far, this is some of the worst wind we've slept in. And I'm impressed how everything's holding up. It's just we're a little low on sleep, so if we're not real energetic today, we're so sorry.
And we have plans today, so hopefully we can just make it through. But I need to cook breakfast first.
So breakfast was really good. Just got done doing the dishes, and the canopy was getting some hard winds, but the tent's staying up strong. And I think this is the 20 mile per hour gust. The rhino rack's doing great. The canopy didn't do as well. I mean, we're pretty impressed with the way this is handling. And this tent, I know it's leaned in, that doesn't look good, but it's still holding up strong. It's got a little tension here. As I'm holding it and I'm pulling on it, it doesn't seem to be having any bind or too much tension in an area that could cause rip where the stitching is. So it seems like it's holding up pretty well.
I think we're gonna head to Fredericksburg, and hopefully our stuff will hang on. I think it will. We're at the max wind speeds right now, so I think it'll be okay.
We have made it to downtown Fredericksburg, and he's nervous. Larry is nervous. I saw he took a step back. So Larry is a good friend of ours. We met Larry the first time at a gas station in Terlingwood, Texas while we were pumping gas because he watches our vlogs and pulled up and says, "I can't believe you're here." And then the second time was when we were in Crested Butte, and I saw someone coming up behind me flashing their lights, and I thought they were trying to run us off the road because we weren't going fast enough. Turns out it was Larry right here.
Hey, how's it going?
But Larry here was wearing the same Dome Life shirt I was wearing that day. That was serendipitous.
Yeah, I didn't wear one today because I was afraid we was going to be wearing the same thing
Matthew
again.
McConaughey shirt on
Yeah.
today.
All right.
He's got one.
He got his Matthew McConaughey shirt on today.
So Larry's going to be taking us around. So what are we doing today, Larry?
We're going to take a tour, drive out towards Doss, a little town called Doss, and then past it is a beautiful drive. It's called James River Road, and it just meanders all out in the middle of nowhere and comes out in a little town called Mason. And so it's an amazing drive out there. So I really like going myself. I live here, and I go out of my way to try to figure out how to get out there myself. So
Okay,
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Like Cody said, Larry is going to be giving us a tour today, and we're going to be riding in this. Is it a Toyota?
Nissan.
Yeah.
You want front or back?
I'll take front. We can alternate.
So Larry has taken us to our first stop on this beautiful drive, and it is an old historical building. Look at this rock. Wow.
This is an old mill. It's called Lane's Mill, and there's a really pretty creek right here. So this is all fresh water that comes through into the creek.
So this building is from 1849. And what were you saying about this creek's name?
I think it's Thompson Creek.
Thompson Creek?
Yeah, and it's all spring fed. I don't think it's ever dried up. So the spring that's running through that building comes out right here and dumps into here.
So this mill, this is the water coming out of the mill. I mean, that's a good flow. Fredericksburg area is of German descent. What's the years that they started arriving here?
They got here in 1846. Yeah, so it was a land grant, and they came here and they settled Fredericksburg. John Museebach was the ramrod of the whole thing, and they settled in town and they laid out the town, and then they were also deeded property out here in the country, and so some of the ranches have been in 8 generations.
So where Larry has taken us next is White Ghost Ranch, which he thought was going to be a cool story about some monster ghost deer that was never captured. But the truth is that's German. What's the
Geist White.
Geist White?
Yeah, that's the owner of the property here. One of the original families in this whole area too. So yeah, it's this place is amazing.
And it's a deer ranch, so it's all deer from the area, and they raise deer here, and they have monster deer. There's a lot of unique species of, I guess you call deer species here in the hill country because it's so arid. It's a lot like Africa or India, right?
Yeah. The axis that are around here are from like India and Pakistan area. There's a lot of black bucks around here, but then you also have fallow, the sika. There's deer from all over the world out here. People have brought here over time to bring here as something else to hunt. Instead of you having to go all the way over there to hunt them, they bring them here. And over time, the fences get knocked down and floods and things, and they get out and they just thrive out here. So.
Oh, and something really neat is he was telling us when we were in Colorado about the axis deer. The axis deer actually went extinct in India, right?
Yeah, they're pretty much extinct. There's several animals like the scimitar horned oryx from northern Africa. They're extinct where they come from, and we send animals back over there to restock their areas over there because they're gone from their natural habitat over there. We have more here than they used to have over there, and so they try to keep that going over there in their natural habitat.
So this is Cass. He's one of the workers here, or ranch hands?
I'm the ranch manager. Yes.
Ranch manager. And these are the deer that they raise on this property, right? All these?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Wow. And look at that monster down there. Wow. So Brent finally showed up. He is the owner of this amazing property, and he inherited it from his family. How many generations?
5 generations.
5 generations, and he wants to take us to feed a baby deer. Is that what you were saying? Or I don't know if you're going to take us.
The boss will take you to feed
boss
the baby deer.
Yeah, we never fed a baby deer before. And so what all do you do here on the property with the deer species?
We have a hunting operation, we have a breeding operation, and we do development of land and ranches to improve for clients their property for recreational hunting, fishing, outdoor, raising cattle, exotics, just a little bit of everything. We do construction, we build things, and we like to build things. We like to make things pretty.
Oh, it's gorgeous out here. I was just telling him I feel like I've only seen pictures of the Serengeti of Africa, but if you look, it really looks like it, doesn't it? It's pretty sweet. But I guess we'll go feed those baby deer.
We learned at a previous establishment that they really enjoy animal crackers and peanuts. Of course, my daughter also feeds them fresh fruits like apples and strawberries. She'll get up at 5 in the morning and cut some up and bring them out to them. So we have 5 back there currently. They're all weaned. 2 of them are really social. 2 of them are somewhat social. And 1 is a touch-me-not. So these are my babies. Slow and gentle. Hey, no ma'am. You want to hold out?
Like always, they love Kellie.
Well, they're like dogs. They're good senses of character. Although, I don't know, because the other ones don't like me. Tiny. And that's my little boy. Tiny. Come here. I'm waiting to see when he goes next year. His antlers should be pretty good size for a yearling.
Yeah.
And so we took them, we found him our first day working here, so I know he's for 4 months old.
Hey.
They think you're salty. That testosterone starts coursing through their veins.
Favorite, then they die.
Oh my god, they want to lick my toes. they like, they'll take a big old salt block or mineral block and just wear it down because
So it is just salt, I guess.
they like salt.
Here are all the yearlings. So these are, well, they're following me, but these are the babies, just born this season. But then over here are the 1-year-olds.
So we got other things we got to see on this trip.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you
you're
for letting
welcome.
us. That was
Thank
so
you.
fun. It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I hope to see y'all back here at White Ghost.
This is the Llano River, and wow is all I can say. That is beautiful. The water is so blue. But the other river that we were following on the way here is the James River. And so further up ahead, you can see where the James and the Llano River come in together and then make this bigger river this way. So super cool. And then if you can see right over there, I don't know if you can see that, but that is a RV park campground. So you can camp right on the river right there.
I want to be there.
And there's people fishing. It looks like they release trout.
Rainbow trout.
Amazing. Yeah, rainbow trout.
Another cool thing about the Llano. Llano, right?
Yeah.
Llano.
Yeah.
Region is that it is the one region that is some of the oldest features in the hill country. It's was completely covered, like I told you the other day. It was a volcanic area that created granite domes. It was under a bunch of layers of dirt because it was a low-lying ocean. It uplifted, and the Llano region is all eroded away volcano. And then the Ouachita Mountains are under the rest of it, and you can't see the Ouachita Mountains because they're under our feet. How cool is that?
All right, we're gonna check this area out for a little bit longer, and then we're gonna head. I guess we're done. Are we heading back after that? So we're gonna head back, and then I'm not sure. I guess we'll probably get some dinner.
Yeah, we're gonna eat something good because Larry's gonna show us around. Show us around.
Fredericksburg, and we found a brewery. Y'all know how we like breweries. This is the Fredericksburg Brewery. Let's go check it. Morning, everybody. It is a calm morning and it is beautiful. Texas does not disappoint so far. The brewery was wow. The food at the brewery was amazing. I had like chicken fried steak. Cody had the Jaeger schnitzel. Anyway, it was delicious. But I wanted to talk about our camp. We got back last night and the winds yesterday. I mean, there were gusts, I think 30-mile-per-hour gusts. The tent held up really nicely. It looks like it's been beat, but all these they got loose. We're gonna go around and retighten them, but everything did well. We did have this strap. The wind is blowing from this direction, so this was like, it's not like a J break. So Cody rigged this up, needs to be tightened, it looks like, but same thing on the other side. But this is the side I was worried about. I was actually worried about these ripping off because of the wind, but I think that it looks good. Everything is held on. Thank you, Lord. And today the winds are supposed to be pretty calm like they are now. Tomorrow about 11 they're going to pick up the same as they did. That's why I was telling Cody, I was like, we got to go. We're leaving tomorrow, so we got to do that. And the batwing held on really well. So batwing, like you can see, looks good, hanging in there. But I wanted to let you know where we're camping because this is an awesome campground. We've been here all week and there's been no other tent campers. Up at the top they have RV hookups. It looks like these people are here to stay. Maybe they have jobs in the area and they move around with their jobs. But weekends it gets pretty crazy. We got here on a Saturday and it was crazy. But the week looks pretty good. This is called Oxford Ranch Campground and they have shower facilities up front. You don't reserve online, you just show up and you pick a site. He has like 120 to 160 acres and you can see all out there's just benches and fire pits everywhere. You just pick a spot and you set up and they're really spaced out so you get your privacy. It's a really nice campground. If you're in the area, you should check it out. Come enjoy it. We enjoy it.
It's about 30 minutes north of Fredericksburg, Texas, 10 minutes south of Llano, and from Enchanted Rock.
Oh, like a 10-minute drive. Well, a 10-minute drive to Enchanted Rock to pull out, but once you get on the road, I don't know how far it is. It's not far at all.
And then it was a little bit further for that mountain bike ride that we did the other day. That was a 43-minute drive from here because you have to go up to Llano, take a right, and keep going, and it's out there somewhere.
But this morning for breakfast, we're gonna do something quick, mainly because I'm pretty much out of any fancy thing I wanted to make. And we have plans for today, so we gotta be quick. We have someone picking us up for our plans. Our easy breakfast consists of these Kodiak protein waffles, and this is how I cook my waffles. I just use my flat cast iron skillet, put some butter on there, and I'm gonna flip them here in a minute. Doesn't take very long. And they're done. Does not take long at all. And on mine, I just pour some honey and cinnamon.
And not just any honey. That's Pinnacle Mountain State Park honey from the heart of Arkansas, where our heart is. You hear that? Wait. There it is.
You're funny.
And that's my setup right there. That there is some peanut butter with some blackberries, some honey, and some cinnamon sprinkled on it for decor. It's really, really nice. And if they don't have blackberries, I'll substitute raspberries. And sometimes I live on the edge. I'll do almond butter. It's good stuff.
All right, it looks like our ride is here, and guess who it is?
Hey, hey.
It's Larry. So Larry drives for the Majesty Wine Tours, and he has picked us up in this lovely transit bus today. So he is our guide, and he's taking us to some wineries. Yay, I'm excited.
And y'all know what the slogan is?
Majesty drives you to drink.
I love it, so cute.
We're pulling up to the first winery, which is Slate Mill. And Larry here is telling us that, well, we all know by now, all this is German descent property. A lot of German heritage here. And this is the original homesteads of some of the founders of this town. Built, when was it?
1850s.
1850s.
Yeah.
Man.
Wouldn't be a bad way to go.
Wasey is going to be pouring us our wine today and giving us a tour.
We are going to be touring Slate Mill Wine Collective. We are a collective. We help out other winemakers along the way, as well as make our own wine here. Everything is 100% Texas, and everything has to be 100% made on site for us to work with it. First one off is going to be a Barbera, Italian varietal. A little on the lighter side, tons of complexity. Absolutely amazing. One of my favorites from our first round of bottling.
You want to know something weird?
What's that?
So my maiden name is Barba, and
Okay.
when they came over from Italy, the name was Barbera, and they shortened it when they came over here.
So everyone in Texas calls this Barbara wine, but it's Barbera. But just Texans. Just
That is
are from
weird.
there. It's pretty wild.
What a coincidence.
So were you named after a varietal? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Gotcha.
I have no idea.
So Barbera, yeah, one of my favorite Italian varietals.
I
of
know
all
they
time.
were in Sicily,
Okay.
where they came over from.
Yeah, definitely plants out there.
Weird.
Pretty
Wow.
wild.
What is that?
Clint Eastwood?
Nailed it. So
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood was part of these movies, movie genre called spaghetti westerns.
Spaghetti westerns. I actually do with a lot of our vlogs when we go out west and we have grasslands. I'll use spaghetti western music.
Nice. Yeah. So this is from a movie called Trinity. Do you know why they call them spaghetti westerns? I keep getting cork in here, so I don't know.
The reason that they call it spaghetti westerns is because they filmed the movies in Italy because it was more affordable.
Yes.
And so they filmed them out there. And know who I learned that from?
My
Your
dad.
dad.
So we named this wine Trinity because it's a 3-grape blend. Tempranillo and Tannat, two of Texas's favorite grapes, and then that same Barbera that we just had a minute ago, just at a small distance.
What we're about to see here is them actually bottling, and this whole entire bottling system is on a trailer where they can take this to any other winery in the region and help out smaller wineries fill their bottles.
So they start out over here. They've got a dump table. They put the empty glass on. Follows the conveyor belt. This is a line sparger right here. Displaces all the oxygen. And the bottom moves into the rack for the filler beds. Go up in there. Goes in the line. Goes over to the filter tube. This bottling line at its capacity will do 2,000 bottles an hour.
That's a lot.
That's smoking through there.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
actually outrun your guy's ability to keep up.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That's impressive.
So I better get back over here and help them do some more.
Hey, thank you so much.
You bet.
We are checking out the barrel room.
This is where all the red wines ferment. Some white wines, but mainly reds, are going to ferment inside this room. So when you walk in here, the smell is my favorite smell in the entire world. It smells like a little like bourbon, grandpa's wood shop, a little fermentation in the air. It's absolutely amazing. Come on in, take a deep breath.
Wow.
Good.
Beautiful.
That is amazing.
So pretty in here.
And I feel it's chilled. How cold do you have it in here right now?
Usually it's about 55 degrees, depending on, there's certain levels of fermentation that they do where they bring it up, I think all the way up to 70 degrees, depending.
Okay.
But usually it's around 55 in here.
Gotcha. Something I wanted to say earlier
Yes.
is that Texas has become the second largest producer of wine in the country behind Napa Valley. Wait, let me rephrase
Yes.
that. The hill country of Texas.
Or Texas as a whole.
Yeah.
Texas
Texas as a whole.
Pittsburgh and-
Yep.
Okay.
But hill country, we're basically it for Texas. I mean, they're growing grapes elsewhere, but this is kind of the mecca of wineries in Texas.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
And it's phenomenal. They've seen an increase. Like 8 years ago, they were saying that it was 100% Texans come to drink wine, but since the game has changed and they're starting to make a lot more,
Refined and gotten better at our crafts as a whole. Yep.
they're seeing people from all over the world come to the hill countries of Texas just to sample the wine, because it's right now, this is rivaling the trip we made to Napa Valley. I mean, this is some really.
Hug you after saying that. I
And-
love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Put
it
that in.
rivals all the wineries in Colorado.
All right, so we actually skipped the middle part of this process, which is the actual stomping of the grape.
Pressing.
Pressing.
So the stomping of the grapes is when the grapes come in off the field. We have these bins that look just like that right over there. That's how they come in off the field. So those bins are filled with just grapes, stems, that's about it. And bugs, because it comes in from off the field. And when we put those grapes in there, we add yeast to the top. And that's what we're doing when we're stomping. We're just basically mixing that yeast in. We want that yeast to touch every bit of the grapes. And if we weren't to touch it, it would start fermenting and bubbling, and it would basically create a film on top that would seal it off and start killing cells underneath. And that's what we're trying to prevent when we're stomping, or what we do is we call a punch down. So a punch down, we don't use a scrub brush, but it would look a lot like this. It's all stainless steel, and it basically has two stainless steel feet on the bottom of it. And so why my guys look like they play in the NFL is because they go to each bin about 8 times a day. You start at the top with those 2 metal feet, and you push that all the way down to the bottom of that bin, and then you pull it all the way back up, and then you take a little side step and you do it again, you do it again. Last year we did 500 tons. Each bin holds somewhere between 2 to 5 tons. So if that gives you an idea how many bins we have laid out all over this place right after harvest. And they have to do this process 8 to 10 times a day for that first week, and then 4 to 5 times a day for the second week.
So they're not working out at all. That is their
That's
workout.
just their job. Yes, exactly
Okay.
right. So after that 2-week process, now we're actually ready to press this fruit, turn it into juice, and then return it to a tank or barrel and actually ferment it and turn it into wine.
Not to mention your guys are swole, by the way. At
Oh
this
yeah,
point.
those are some big boys over there. So this is a 10-ton grape press. This is a French press as well. Not for coffee, but it's made in France. Inside there's a big bladder that sits on one side. So once we fill this up with up to 10 tons worth of fruit, that bladder is going to expand, press all those grapes against those metal walls, and juice all that fruit for us. All of that juice is being pumped out right here. And we use these big hoses, just like what they're using to pump that wine into that truck. See that hose right there? And pumps. All the juice coming out right there, we keep all the solid stems and seeds separate from that.
In bugs.
And bugs, exactly. For a good reason. So when you press a red grape and a green grape, 99% of the time, it's all clear juice. And so how do we turn red wine red? We use those skins. And same thing with rosé. To turn it pink, we use those skins. So if I'm making white wine, I'm gonna take that grape skin, stems, and seeds and get rid of it and use that white juice. If I'm making rosé, I'm gonna take a small amount of those red skins, reintroduce to that white juice, and as that alcohol being made in there, it's gonna rip that pigmentation from those skins and start to turn your wine to a different color.
He's really pretty too.
He's such a nice dog. Winery dog.
Winery dog.
That's the winery dog. Where are we heading next?
Slate Theory.
Slate Theory, which is also owned by them as well. It has only been open for 4 months.
Yeah.
So
4
we're
weeks.
4 weeks.
Yeah, 4 weeks.
So we might be the first people to ever record this
Probably.
location. So we just showed up to the next location, and this is Jared, and he is going to be giving us a tour of the wine cellar that we were talking about. And is there some other stuff that we were going to be seeing?
Yeah, the production facility and well, really that's it, but it's a lot bigger than that.
Okay, heck yeah,
it's
let's
really
go
only 3 or 4 things. But
And so far, walking around this property, we are blown away. It is beautiful, beautiful
I like
property.
the vibe here because it's kind of dark and moody, and then all their wines are kind of named the same thing, like in that general, I don't know, genre.
the cellar we're gonna go into was supposed to be done at the same time as this like 13,000 square foot tasting room that's supposed to be on top of this door. And then kind of going that way. There's supposed to be a restaurant in there. That was supposed to be done at the same time, and they ran into like really high building costs, so they kind of settled
with
down on that
lumber and
one. Right, exactly.
that all went through the roof recently. So
This is the cellar, so it's 9,300 square feet.
9,300. We were off. We said 2,500.
Right. I think it's 11 million pounds of concrete, and like I think it's 6.5 foot thick all the way around. So it's a bunker.
Wow.
So eventually, all these bays will have some kind of room in them. Like we're trying to go for like maybe a bar area down at the very end. And then they'll each have like some kind of different cool table and then a unique chandelier of some sort.
If you just want to come out here, get a table down here and order some wine, you can totally do that, right?
Yeah, if you're a member.
Okay, gotcha.
If you're a non-member, you can do like a more expensive tasting where they'll
Okay.
pour you some of the wine club exclusives. And yeah, then you can buy wine, and it depends on who's behind you. You might be able to hang out after that. But if they're like booked up to the day, they'll
Yeah.
like finish the tasting and move you out.
Gotcha. So if you're a member, that would be the best thing to do if you want to hang out.
Right.
Okay.
Wow. Larry, this is your first time down here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my first time. It's beautiful. I've heard a lot about it, but it's the first time I've seen it.
So each room, so over here, like this, I'm assuming is more like roots, earthy feel, like grapevine maybe, root system with lights coming out the end. It's really,
It's a petrified wood table.
And this is that living
that's a
wall.
petrified wood table?
And then alligator skin chairs.
Okay.
Ridiculous, but
I have never been in my life in a place like this, ever. And then over here is more modern, I'm assuming.
yeah, they got, and then that's a big, I don't know what you call that table really. It's a lot of epoxy and kind of separate pieces.
And what's the average temperature here? Because we left the other location and we were in a metal building facility where there was AC units, and he said here y'all don't need those, and it will hold a steady. what's
They
the-
have some AC, but it doesn't have to work as hard really. So it's supposed to be like 55 to 65.
Yeah.
And then the cool part about a cave is it's supposed to stay humid So theoretically, like less of the wine in the barrel evaporates that way, because that's part of like the barrel thing. Is like winemakers are constantly having to come back through and top them off, so you don't have a lot of oxygen in there.
Yeah.
So that's why in France, California, they'll have caves because it's humid down there, so you lose less wine to evaporation that way.
I like this. I like this. This is really one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. What?
Yeah, look at that chandelier. I love that.
Fortress of Solitude.
This is so cool. It's like military, end of the world, but with Christmas. There's something beautiful in it. There's a tree that's lit up. This is so cool. Whoa. Everything is so big here. Hello?
Everything's bigger in Texas.
And this is the main production itself, so all the first stages of winemaking. The tour is kind of backwards, so it goes from like the barrels being aged into like the fermenting room, and that stuff at the very end over there is like, well, the first stuff, the press and the distemmer.
So we just got done with Slate Theory, and that wine cellar is one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. It's right there. But we have one more winery we're going to go to, and I do want to add, this is 3 wineries that we'll go to today out of
60, over 60.
Larry, what's the name of this winery?
The Edge.
The Edge.
Yeah.
And we're on the edge of a river, I think.
Yes, the Pedernales River is right down here. It's part of the property.
Wow, what is that large building right there, Larry?
That is the wine club membership building, and it has like 5 levels, and it's all glass on the front. It's private tasting rooms overlooking the river. It's really, really nice up there. Newsom wines are featured here, and Newsom is probably one of the oldest and largest wine producers, or grape producers, in Texas. They're located up in the High Plains, and they have phenomenal wines here. It's really, really good stuff here. First class, all of it. So
We're excited. So this is going to be our last one of the day before we actually see his better half. His significant other, but his better half at her restaurant.
Finished the wine tour, and we want to thank Larry and Majesty Tours for taking us so long. It was amazing. But now we're gonna go to Western Edge.
and we're gonna eat some food.
Yeah, we're really hungry.
Yeah, we're starving.
Sister Moon, said night train. I love to watch you roll. The night train, said Moon, you are so cool the way you blow. Sister Moon ran away with Mr. Night Train last night. I was drinking, I was feeling alright, alright. The night train was morning, the moon shone bright. Sister Moon ran away with Mr. Night Train last night.
had a large day. The wineries, and then dinner was amazing. Western Edge is his girlfriend's restaurant, and
So is a tour company,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
so it's all amazing.
His
Loved it.
boss
What a
is his
great day.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
but she's awesome. We got to meet her tonight.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
But we will be back because we love Fredericksburg. We love Texas Hill Country. It is now on our top places we love in the U.S. I didn't know I was going to love it this much.
Yeah, me neither.
I wish I could live here now.
I know, right?
However, we'll catch you on the other.
See you next time.